Come on. Oh. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Movie Night here on the Basement Show with Mr. Nast. I am Mr. Nast, but I am not staying. I am passing the reins off to, we have Lotus of the Rings in my top left corner and Mr. Samwise in my top right hand corner. They're going to lead you on a wonderful conversation of Lord of the Rings. I have not seen the movies. I am sitting this one out. I am pulling a free night from me, so enjoy the show. And I will be back later.
Hey everybody, I'm back.
Hola. So am I guess.
Yes, took a couple month hiatus due to personal reasons, but I'm back. I'm not going to be back every Friday night, but I'll be back about every other Friday night to discuss movies. I begged Sam to join me tonight so I wasn't alone because John hasn't seen Lord of the Rings and Sam
Because he's
is
lame.
so knowledgeable and Sam always brings the great insights to the show, so this should be a fun one tonight.
Oh,
Hey
yes.
Jack, thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Oh, I don't have the chat up.
So tonight
Probably.
we are discussing the Fellowship of the Ring. Should be a really fun discussion. This is probably one of my favorites, just because it is the first one.
Nope. Sorry, my favorite has to go to the Two Towers.
That's a close, but I gotta go
it's
first.
Two Towers. But that's beside the point because that's not the one we're talking about today.
Exactly. I am not lame. Samwise just lazy. So,
well, Jack, and you're in the right place because tonight it's all Lord of the Rings.
Yes, and we're hoping to do this as a series. We'll go through each of the movies, hopefully throughout the next few months. Like I said, because I'm not going to be on every Friday night, and Sam's probably not available every Friday night anyway. So it should be fun, should be exciting, and it'll bring a fun variety to the show, I think. So Sam, to start off, why don't we talk favorite character, least favorite character?
Well, I mean, favorite character should be obvious. I mean, just look down here at the bottom corner here.
I'm glad you agree because he's actually my favorite as well.
He's the hero. He's the true hero of this story, and nobody can change my mind on that. He's the true hero, and I mean, as much as Frodo did, as much as any of the others did, Samwise was the true hero. The Middle Earth would not have been saved without Samwise, in my opinion. So, favorite character is gonna have to be Samwise.
And if your least favorite's not Boromir, then you gotta go.
No, see, he's not one of my top 10, but he's not my least favorite either, because I feel like there's someone far worse, and that'd be Lord Denethor, his father.
Fair.
I mean, I was the one cheering as he ran off the edge on fire. That's just me, though. Yes, Jack, it is a decent show.
I haven't seen it yet, but it is in my range to watch, like my radar.
It's good, but it has an agenda.
Good to know.
So it is still good. They stick fairly well to the lore. It was fun to watch, fun to see characters like Elrond and Galadriel, Sarah Brimore, all really young. But I just don't think that there's some characters that I just don't think they nailed on the head. Wow. I just said his name too. Elrond, there we go. Elrond, I think, is one of those characters who they could have done so much better. And I don't know whether it was the acting or the directing that kind of ruined it because I just the way that they present Elrond um, just doesn't quite fit the older Elrond. But I don't know. I also haven't delved into a lot of the lore books,
That's fair.
but Jack
Sorry,
says
he
his
doesn't
favorite
button.
character is Gollum.
Golem.
Interesting choice of character, Jack. I mean, I don't blame you. He's a fun character. He's one of those that you can love to hate.
Yes.
And I think I feel like Tolkien gets you to feel for him. He gets
Mm.
you to want to love him and feel bad for him. And he has that redemptive moment in the middle there, but in the end the ring wins. And you're kind of sad to see it. Like I almost felt bad for Gollum as he was falling into the lava. Like you kind of want him to get better, but at
Mm.
the same time you're like, oh well.
Before we dive into the story, let's talk box office. So it came out in 2001,
Old movie.
22 years ago. Like, that's insane.
Yes.
When did you see it? Did you see it um, back in 2001, or did you wait to see it way past its time in theaters?
No, I don't remember when I saw it. The first time at least. Um, I remember when my mom and grandma went to go see it. Because I stayed home. Me and my brother stayed home because we were still, I was 10.
Mm.
And I could have gone to see it, and I could have enjoyed it, but I guess it was just a mom and grandma thing. Yeah. And so, but I remember later on, by the time the Return of the King came out, I had seen the other two, um, and watched those. So it was a little bit after its box office release. I actually did not see it in theaters until they released the extended edition Blu-rays, and they did special showings of them in theaters around the country, and they showed all three of them with extended editions, with prequels from Peter Jackson. Him talking about the making of the movie. So that was cool, getting to see those.
I did not see Lord of the Rings until I met Joe. But just wasn't interesting at the time, I guess. I really didn't know anything much about it. My brothers weren't into it. My dad wasn't into it. And then I met Joe, and he's like, this is one of my favorites. So I remember we watched it, and then it's just been something that I've been interested in since. Like, I love it's what, it's up there with Harry Potter. It's one of those, I'm always going to rewatch this movie. Like, it's one of those, it's a feel good movie. You just want to
Hmm.
put something on that you're familiar with, or, it's not just background noise. It's going to be Lord of the Rings.
See, I use Star Wars for the background noise, but that's a whole different story. Lord of the Rings is one of those that, like, I make sure to watch through all of the extended editions at least once a year. At
You have
least
to.
once a year. I'm like, okay, I have to go watch Lord of the Rings. Last year it was actually with a group of friends. They they did a Lord of the Rings extended edition marathon, and we hung out at his house all day, started early in the morning, and they had all the meals planned. Breakfast, second breakfast, tea time, 11 Z's. I mean, they had it all planned out, and it was all like you know hobbit based food. Like
Mm,
dinner was shepherd's pie.
it's awesome.
And so, and for those of you who don't know shepherd's pie, it literally a hamburger shoved in between mashed potatoes. And
Mm.
if you don't know why potatoes are important to a hobbit, then just remember potatoes.
Potatoes.
You can boil them, mash them, or stick them in a stew.
Yep. I love potatoes. So it did almost $900 million in box office. That's insane, especially in
Yes.
2001.
And when it only had a budget of $93 million.
Yeah, that's
So when
crazy.
you're looking at a worldwide of almost $900 million and you only spent maybe 100 million, I mean you just made about $800 million.
Hmm.
So it made a good profit. Plus plus you can't that's not even that's just movie tickets. That's not even adding in like all of the royalties for like action figures and posters and all that other memorabilia that still gets sold today.
And it's crazy. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was the movie that beat it in 2001 for uh, worldwide gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting. That kind of shows you where the society was at that time,
Mm.
because Harry Potter was popular, but in America, we really didn't know. I mean, I guess we did. I didn't start reading the Harry Potter books until the movie came out.
Right.
I was 11 when I read the first Harry Potter book, so it was kind of perfect.
Yeah, that was about me. I think I was third grade going to fourth grade when I even heard about Harry Potter, and I remember seeing it in theaters when it came out. And then it was all the book fairs. Only the first four books were out at the time, and they're like, "This movie's a big thing. Y'all need to buy the books." And
Yeah, I remember um, when my mom first got me the book, um, and she got me the first book, and I took it and I started reading it, and I was just like, not for me. No, thank you. And put it aside. I barely got through the first chapter. I was just like, this is boring. You know, didn't catch my interest immediately, so I was like, nope. Um, and but then the movie came out that November. We went to go see it, and I was immediately hooked. And ever since that day in November, I have been waiting for my Hogwarts letter. And when Hogwarts Legacy came out, they were 20 years late, but you know what? I finally got my letter.
wow.
But Lord of the Rings was different. I didn't
Mm.
read Lord of the Rings until middle school.
Yeah, I so it's kind of funny like looking back 2001, now that I know Harry Potter came out in the same time, I don't even recall hearing about Lord of the Rings in the theaters.
I only remember it being in theaters because of um my mom and grandma going to see it. Like that was it. So, and I didn't start I didn't get into it until later on, after the third movie came out and broke all sorts of box office records and Academy Award and Golden Globe and Oscar awards and all that kind of stuff.
Speaking of, I was just reading on that. The Fellowship of the Ring was nominated for 13 Academy Awards, 13 nominations in the British Academy Film Awards, and they won four, which is really low for how much they were
Hmm.
nominated for, but that's still not bad. They won Best Cinematography, Best Makeup, Best Original Score, and Best Visual Effects. But I mean, you gotta again remember it was up against Harry Potter. Harry Potter probably won a majority more of those awards.
So let's see. So those both came out. So that would have been The 2002 Oscars. Um, and we can do a quick search here. Let's see, 2002
Sorry, guys, we're
Oscars.
talking about the boring stuff right now. We'll get into the plot of the movie here shortly. What I like to do is I like to look at box
'Cause
office
it,
and all that.
cause
Yeah, I find it interesting.
it came out in 01, right?
In December.
Let's see. Music, Best Picture. Yeah, okay. No, actually, the winner for Best Picture in 2002 was A Beautiful Mind.
Hmm.
Um, Harry Potter was not even nominated for Best Picture.
Wow.
Moulin Rouge was, though. Another good movie. So, yeah, Lord of the Rings was still nominated. I think all three Lord of the Rings movies um, were nominated for Academy Award or for Oscars for Best Pictures. So let's see, 03. Let's see. 2003 Oscar Awards. Look. See here. Best Picture. Yeah, Two Towers was also nominated, beat out by Chicago, but Return of the King was nominated and won Best Picture.
Nice.
Because I mean, how can you if you go and see that movie in theaters, and this is what really got me, seeing it in theaters, seeing the Battle of Pelennor Fields and Theoden riding in front of all of the cavalry and all the horses, all 6,000 of them,
Hmm.
because Peter Jackson sat there and said, "I want exactly 6,000 horses," and so they put in 6,000. They went in and make sure that there were 6,000 horses there.
Do
Um,
you think if this movie would have been directed by a different director, that it would have been as successful as it was?
Not at all. I really don't. Peter Jackson is an amazing director.
Hmm.
And the fact that he directed all three of these movies like they filmed all three of these movies at the same time.
Mm-hmm. I
Like
remember reading about that.
it was all filmed at the same time, which I think it may have been a little more work for the actors, but I think the overall uh was much better. Because when you look at movies like the Hunger Games and the Divergent series that filmed at different times, um, you see the age. The first Hobbit to appear in this movie would have been Frodo sitting at the tree reading his book.
Yeah. Isn't that like the opening scene?
I believe so. No, the opening
after
scene
after
after the
after
whole
yeah.
the One Ring,
The
yeah.
wondering but
Um,
yeah.
or is it Bilbo sitting at his desk writing his book? Actually, I'm gonna go with Bilbo because I think because Bilbo is calling for Frodo, and Frodo's not there because he's out by the tree reading his book.
Hi Ron. Welcome in. Thanks for joining.
So, good evening, Ron. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna say Bilbo.
Bilbo is correct. Thanks for confirming,
There we
John.
go.
I told John to start to drop some trivia in for us. That way we can like I love that we're just discussing, That's one thing that I love about Friday night movie nights is
Oh yeah.
especially on a movie that we love, there's so much to discuss, and I figured trivia can be a good way to help the viewers participate a little bit more as well.
Oh, that one's easy. You want to take that one, Andrea?
Good. I can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue though.
Balrog.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I was like, I was right there. I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? I love Bilbo Baggins too. I love him more in the Hobbit trilogy.
See, I thought, oh, who plays him? Who plays Bilbo in The Hobbit?
Um, gosh, what is his name? But I love him, especially in Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yes. Um, Eddie Redmayne. No,
No,
not Eddie Redmayne. No, no. Although apparently Eddie Redmayne auditioned to play Bilbo. I don't think he would have fit the role.
Martin Freeman. That's his
There we
name.
go. Yeah.
I was like, his name was like
I
right there. I'm like, I know who it
I
is.
really do think he did a great job as playing Bilbo. Um, and I'm glad that we kept the same Gandalf.
Elijah Wood played Frodo.
Bilbo. Yeah, Frodo. Oh, I was wrong. It was Melon. Melon. Let's see. Where's my mouse? I don't even know where my mouse is. It's going all over the computer. Um, but I think that with I think
And
with the Fellowship of the Ring, it starts really slow.
it does. Um, but I mean, you've got to get the backstory in somehow.
You do. Yeah, it's and I think this is one reason why I couldn't read the books. Being ADHD, I needed to get in there quick. I
It's
need
okay,
action.
Rob, neither
I
does
need it
John.
quick. And you get you get a I need the action, and without the action I got really bored with the Fellowship. But I was able to easily read the Two Towers.
Um, to go off of John's question, who was the first person to get a hug off of Frodo? Wasn't it?
It's Gandalf.
Oh, I thought it was Mary. I don't know. I could be wrong.
He jumps.
I'm trying to
He,
think. Doesn't he hug Gandalf when like
yeah,
Gandalf's in? Yeah,
yeah. Gandalf rides up in his little wagon, and Frodo's sitting at the tree, and he jumps on
and
him.
he jumps. Yeah, but yeah. So I'm reading the book for the first time, and it's I want to say it's boring because I like it, but it's
Hmm.
just the chapters are so long and so detailed. So I like reading the book and comparing it to the movie. I'm like, okay, I can see why they didn't include a lot of it because it would have been a really long, boring movie.
I mean, the extended edition is what, almost 4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours.
It's a 4 hour movie, and there's still about half the book that's not even in there. Like there is a crazy amount of detail and character details that aren't in the movie because the movie would have been the normal edition would have been 4 hours,
Hmm.
and we're
John, there's
talking.
nine for the Nine Rings. I don't know
Oh,
if they meant to do that or if that was just like a huge coincidence.
um oh no, Tolkien did that very purposely. There are no coincidences with Tolkien. This is Tolkien we're talking about. There's no coincidence. I'm just saying.
All right,
But
so you mentioned the beginning is kind of boring. Um,
now
and it is like it
the
really is
very
the
beginning
intro,
intro
like
is
where
really
it
cool.
gives the
Where
backstory of
yeah,
how the ring and
see, and this is what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that the story that we're getting with the Rings of Power, leads up to that battle that we see at the beginning of Fellowship of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
The battle against Sauron. That is my hope, is that we get to see that and how everything develops. I'm not sure if we will, but
Was this the show? I'm listening to a podcast and they focus on the books in the movie, and they keep mentioning this show that was supposed to be based on not Thorin. Why did his name just escape me?
a dwarf?
No, the main guy. Strider. What's his name?
Oh, Aragorn?
Aragorn, yeah. They
No,
were supposed to make a TV series about Aragorn.
no. This one is Second Age.
Mm.
So this is before the ring has even been created.
Okay.
Or it's the end
Gosh,
of the
sorry. I am like tired, so my brain like shut down. I'm like, what the crap is his name? I'm like,
well, that's like me with Elrond, and I had just said his name, and all of a sudden, like,
You're like, wait, what was it?
this is what happened when you work with teenagers all day.
I can vouch Joe gets that way.
Guys,
Okay.
if you have an opportunity and somebody asks you, hey, you want to be a middle school teacher? I want you to turn around and run the opposite direction as fast as you possibly can.
I used to play Lord of the Rings.
I love my job.
It didn't take quarters, only tokens. Ron, that's a dad joke if I ever heard one.
That relationship, Jack, is actually very complicated. He calls him uncle.
But he's not.
But he's not.
I learned that in the book. Like, it gets really detailed in the book.
There is a relationship, but it's not direct. It's not direct.
What does Bilbo compare himself to when he tells Gandalf why he is leaving the Shire?
Oh, that's a good. I can see the conversation right after the party.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's like
I don't remember.
My brain. I'm like, because I can picture it. They're leaving the party.
Okay, Jack says the relationship is second cousin. Like I said, a complicated. It's not a direct connection.
John, tell us the answer, because like we're gonna be mad because we know it, but we don't know it.
You're gonna tell us. I'm gonna give it a go. I butter. Yep. Okay.
John, just get on the show. Come on.
So, I think this movie it does start slow.
Is that the Lord above?
I am the power.
I think the eye is
Morgan Freeman. Is that you?
Sure, I can be Morgan Freeman. I can say okay and talk all night. Sure.
I think the movie starts off. It starts off much faster paced than the book, because the book starts off with "This is a Hobbit," and
I know, and you're
sitting there for like 75 pages.
No kidding. That's what I'm telling you. Like, it's not that the book is boring. It's so detailed, and you're just like, we could have done like 50 pages less without all this filling.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
But Tolkien was a world builder. That is what he was. And that's what he is. And if you look at all of the lore surrounding, there is so much stuff that didn't go into his books. It is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
But the movie starts off on a much faster pace, because we don't sit there for the first 25 minutes going, this is what a Hobbit is.
No, so I'm reading the book on my Kindle, and like it makes me mad when I start a new chapter and it's like there's 75 minutes in this chapter and the chapter is like 20 pages, and I'm like, why?
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 I have all of the books on Audible. Um, and let's see. Hold on, let's see. Um, I have to actually I actually have to go because it's been a while since either me or my fiance have read them, so they're like at the
Uh,
bottom of the list.
If you guys see my eye
Um,
twitch, I'm sorry. My eye is
you
really
need to
twitchy
have this
tonight.
stuff ready, Mr. Simmons. Okay, we don't need deado on this show. I
you know
don't.
That's
what,
what that's
Mr.
what you're
Nance?
for, John.
Well,
Exactly. That's what your trivia is for.
well then I'll keep asking questions. Let's see.
Keep asking questions so we know how little I actually know about this movie.
When the Fellowship is traveling along the river, who is in Loga's boat?
Who's in what?
Lego, L-E.
Legolas?
Legolas.
He doesn't
Yeah.
even know the name. Okay, go away, John.
Just keep typing it, John.
Bye.
You can't even Legolas, the most important part of the Fellowship. Okay, let me see.
Lego's boat. I'll just say Lego's boat. Okay.
Let's see. The Fellowship of the Rings is on Audible is a 19-hour book.
I see it.
It is an almost 20-hour book. Well, actually, hold on. Let me see. Um, Whereas The Return of the King is an 18-hour book, and The Two Towers is just under 17 hours. So, I mean, we're talking in total on Audible. Um,
Better be
on
the right
It was on the
finger. Just kidding.
right ring finger, wasn't it?
I thought it was the pointer.
Or was it the pointer? One of these two. Either the ring or the pointer.
Tell us how wrong we are, John.
It's the index finger.
Isn't that the pointer?
I think
Yeah.
so. Same
Was
thing.
it? It's like I thought it
Um,
was the pointer. Like
yeah,
I said, I watched the beginning, and that's about as far as I got.
so and just to put in perspective, um, if I look at the chapters of Lord of the Rings, chapter 1 is an hour long. And just to be clear, chapter 1 is this is what a hobbit is. So
Mm-hmm.
it is an hour of nothing but talking about what a hobbit is and where they live and where they came from, what they eat, how their lifestyle is.
I
And you don't get
remember
that in the movie.
when I was reading that, I'm like, I could have
Why do
done
I
without
care?
that, and like we could have just like chapter 2 with the real chapter 1, and I would have
Mm-hmm.
been fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so we didn't get that in the movie. Instead, we do get the introduction to Frodo with Bilbo sitting there writing the book, calling for Frodo, and then they pan over to the tree where he's sitting reading his own book. Um, and so, and then Gandalf comes through, and the Hobbit children are following him, and he sets off his fireworks as all the kids get sad, thinking he's not going to, and then he does. They're like, "Yay!" And the old man smiles, and his wife glares at him. Ooh.
um,
Give me a second. I just spilled soda on my keyboard.
Sweet.
I know, right?
Do you
Not
think
much.
Gandalf would have been successful if he was in the Wizarding World?
How so?
Do you think he would be like Dumbledore? I mean, granted, they're the same actor, but like, do you think he could be as powerful as Dumbledore, if not more powerful?
Dumbledore and Gandalf aren't the same actor.
They are to me. They look the same.
Look the same, yes, but they're not.
They're not. They do look the same. They have the same nose.
In which movie, Jack? In The Hobbit or in The Lord of the Rings? Two different actors. Sorry.
I need you to finish that quote because I don't know that quote.
Finish it. So Gandalf, you had led them over Cataras, and if that fails, what then? Sorry, I'm trying to clean off my keyboard before it gets.
He'll be back. But no, that was not the right answer. He must have hit the wrong button. That's
How
okay.
dare he?
That's okay. That's why I hang out in the studio, so that in case something happens like that, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Jack, that one is it's I think it's Ian Holmes. Is that his name?
Isn't Lord of the Rings the same as all the other movies? Hey, welcome back,
I'm
Sam.
back. Sorry, I'm trying to clean off my keyboard, and I'm having to press buttons to do that. I don't want to have to buy another $70. So.
I'll send you some money for a new keyboard, okay? That can be your appearance fee for like $70 new keyboard. There you go. Problem solved.
See, at least John's paying you. Just kidding.
You get free merch when it comes out, Andrew, and your new design logos are cool. But,
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna have to show you the logos I made.
But, Sam, that answer you gave was wrong about finishing the quote. Would you like me to read you what it says?
Yes.
Where then will you go?
I was close.
You were close. I will say that.
Why don't I remember that scene?
I don't know.
That's why I'm like, I don't know. Anyway,
Oh no,
so
I can tell you the scene. I know the scene. It's the scene as they're sitting in front of. They just went through they're going over the mountains, right? And Sauron brings that huge thunderstorm.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
Okay.
Sauron is looking into the ball.
Hi, Curtis.
Curtis. And he's looking into the ball, and they're sitting. They had just gotten through that, and he's like, "Okay, where then will you go?"
Then will you go?
What's your favorite part of the movie?
A
And then we'll
Fellowship.
go back to talk about it. Yeah, and we'll go back to talk about the plot a little bit more.
See, all my favorite scenes come from Two Towers and Return of the King. So if I'm having to stick to Fellowship, I think one of the most memorable scenes. I love the birthday scene.
Mm.
I love the birthday party when Bilbo he and I'm gonna disappear, boop, and I'm gone. But I think I would have to say it would probably be the scene right before the mountains that we were just talking about. And they're sitting there, they're eating, and Boromir's trying to teach the hobbits how to fight with swords, and you just get this moment of of Merry and Pippin just they look at each other and they tackle Boromir, and they're all laughing, and Aragorn just laughs, before going over there and trying to help, and then they tackle him too. Um, I love that scene just because it's sort of that feel good scene before everything starts going downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you get into the Mines of Moria, and
that's my favorite part is the Mines of Moria.
See, when you get to the Mines of Moria, when they first find Balin's tomb.
Mm.
And for somebody, if you don't know the lore, you're like, why do we care? But if you know the lore, like after later on watching the movie, after I knew more about the lore and who Balin really was, like that scene hits a little differently once you know who Balin is.
Mm.
And you're just like, oh, that's sad. And so that one is a really good scene.
His 111th birthday. Yes. Or how does he say it?
11st.
Yeah,
And to answer Jack's question,
I
it
actually
was it
don't
was
know that.
post World War II, 50 something, 50, 54, 53, 54, something like that. It's an old book. It's an old book.
Would you rather live in the Shire or live in Rivendell?
See, I don't know. 21? What about 21? 1921?
For me, I want to live in the Shire. I think that would be so fun. Party with the hobbits, man.
I say Gryffindor.
Nobody asked you. Just kidding.
Wow, I feel
um,
love. Not really, but
See, that's a tough one. But I'm I'm gonna have to go with the Shire
We can eat potatoes together, Sam.
because of all the food.
How is it that they can eat all that food and they eat so often and yet they're still itty bitty?
Because they have.
Like how?
Oh, okay, not all of them are itty bitty. I mean, if we look at that birthday party, there were some big hobbits there. um, there were some really big hobbits there, and so um, but I don't know. I think it's because of how active they are.
Ron, get that mine out of your gutter. Yeah, because I'm just thinking like some of them, like Mary and Pippin especially, they're so skinny, and they're the ones who are like, well, what about second breakfast? Elephantines, and I'm just like, how do they eat so much and stay so skinny? Like they're just so skinny. They gotta have like the best metabolism ever.
They really do, and you know, like I may have gotten the hobbits the hobbits uh, height and their love for food, but I definitely did not get their metabolism. I got a pretty big belly that I got to get rid of before the wedding. So, um,
Okay, would you rather um, face the Nazgul or face a horde of orcs?
oh, horde of orcs. Orcs are dumb. Orcs are
Fair.
dumb. Our orcs are dumb. Throw something shiny and you'll win. Um, a Nazgul. I'm a man. I ain't gonna win that fight. You know. Now with that whole scene, we can get that into that later. That there's a whole debate on that scene and the wording and all that. So, but um, but I think Fellowship of the Ring it was a great start to the series. Great introduction, and of course you get the action as they're ending. You get to see Rivendell, beautiful, beautiful Rivendell.
Mm.
You get to see the Wood Elves. You get to see Galadriel. Um, you know, and what's really funny, there is a if you look at the lore. So if you remember, they meet the Wood Elves, and Galadriel gives Frodo this test, and or well, it
Mhm.
was more of a test for her, and Frodo goes, "Here, take the ring," and she's like, "No, I cannot," and then she's like, I'll be the queen," and we get that creepy Galadriel. That was really really creepy. Um, but in the end, she doesn't take the ring. Frodo takes it, and Um, um, if by my life or death I can protect you, I will. That was Aragorn.
Mm-hmm.
That was Aragorn.
Aragorn to Frodo.
Um, yeah, in Rivendell before they left. But if you remember, Galadriel gave them all a gift.
Yeah.
She gave Legolas a bow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she gave Sam the rope, which he was really sad about. Merry and Pippin, she gave daggers. Frodo, she gave the light of Elendil. And then, as they're riding in the boats, Legolas goes, "What did she give you? What did you ask for?" Because Galadriel had asked, "What can an elf give to a dwarf?"
Mm-hmm.
And they asked later, "What did you ask for?" He said, "I asked her for but one hair from her head." Now, and Legolas laughs, and then Gideon's like, "And she gave me three."
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know the extensive lore of this is going to be a really interesting story. So there is actually deeper lore into that.
I actually, that podcast that I'm listening to, they just talked about this, and like it was really cool to actually understand like the deeper meaning behind it. Because I'm just like, oh, it's just hair. Like you said,
Yes,
there's so much more behind it.
yes. Um, you know, because there was another elf, Fëanor, and this is something we learn in one of the Cimmerals in this. If you read the books, the
Mm-hmm.
Cimmerillion, this is one of those stories. Fëanor, who was known as the greatest of all elves, asked Galadriel multiple times for her hair, and she refused him multiple times, 3 times to be exact. And if you know the relationships between dwarfs and elves, they have never had the greatest of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So for her to not give the 3 hairs to Fëanor, the greatest elf to ever live, but to give them to a dwarf, is just yet another smack in the face to Fëanor if he were alive. So there's some deeper meaning into that, and which is really cool. So the movie does do a good job of playing off of some of those small intricacies with the lore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's another. Would you rather be a hobbit, a dwarf, or an elf?
Mm. See, elves and dwarves live long lives.
Mm-hmm.
Hobbits, not so much. I mean, they can live a decent life, a normal life. Um, you know, um, because not all hobbits live as old as Bilbo, because Bilbo had the ring. Um, but I think I would probably go with the dwarf.
See, that's kind of where I was thinking as well. I think it'd be really cool to be a dwarf. Now, if I was a dwarf, I would be more like Bombor.
I love Bombor. He's one of my favorites. He's one of
John, I
my
know you
favorites.
don't know Lord of the Rings, but would you want to be a hobbit, which is like a small person? That's the best way to describe them. They have big, hairy feet. They eat a lot. An elf or a dwarf, another short person, but with really cool beards.
I don't know. I think it'd be cool to be either one of the three of them. Honestly, depends how you look at it.
See, it'd be fun to be an elf until you realize that they don't eat meat and they're vegetarian. And I'm like, nope.
Well, that'd be fine by me. I gotta lose some weight anyway. Let me like you, Sam.
But see, if you're an elf or if you're a dwarf or a hobbit, Nobody cares about your weight.
Right.
But if I'm the elf, do I get to help Santa too? Sign me up. I'm good.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it would be cool to have like the eyes and ears of an elf. Great hearing, great eyesight.
Mm.
But elf elf diet tips.
I was reading that too. I was like, elf die tips? What?
Elf diet tips. I love it, Ron.
Leave it to Ron to put a hashtag in the chat. Jeez, thanks, Ron.
He hasn't even done
Mm.
hashtag here for Andrea. I mean, shame. Shame. Just
All
kidding,
right.
Ron.
So if you were an elf, though, would you be a wood elf, or would you be one of the elves in Rivendell?
Oh, I'd be a Rivendell elf. Sheltered.
Shepherd.
Sheltered and all alone. Sorry.
The cool thing about elves though is they can't die. They cannot die of old age. They cannot die
Right.
of sickness. There's only two ways for them to die. One is they become mortal by falling in love with a mortal. And two is by willingly going into battle.
Sign me up. I'm here for battle.
Then you'd be better off as a dwarf.
Oh, you're done.
Always here for Andrea.
Like it?
But
What, you think he's here for you, Sam? Come on.
Okay, out of the nine in the fellowship, who's your favorite?
okay, favorite character is still gonna be Samwise. Um, but I think favorite backstory has got to be Boromir. Because at heart, Boromir was not a bad guy.
No,
They
what
they make
happened
him
is he got the corruption.
yeah,
Like he couldn't
and that was
handle
the
and
heart of men. And
hmm
he was a man, and that is what happened. Just being in that close proximity to the ring, it was enough to corrupt him to that point. But at the heart of Boromir, and you see it multiple times throughout the movie. Um, he's he is good at heart. Now he didn't go there with the best of intentions. He went there with the intention of getting the ring and taking it back to Gondor to his father. But in the end, I mean, he willingly laid down his life to save Merry and Pippin.
Speaking of Merry and Pippin, I would have liked to have seen their backstory a little bit more. They're so interesting in the book compared
They
to
are.
in the movie.
They really are.
The movie it makes them seem like they're just stupid hobbits, but like in the book, I'm like they're like the movie does not portray them at all like they should be. But I mean, I get it. They needed comedic value in the movie,
I would
and
say it's kind of
it
like
was
Fred and
good.
George with Harry Potter, but
Mhm.
no, because they did an excellent job of portraying Fred and George. But I mean, I do think that Tolkien did write in Merry and Pippin as a bit of comedic relief.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that Merry and Pippin they have so much more to them, and that's with all books to movies, it's hard to get everything in there.
Mhm.
But in the end, uh, I do like the movie versions of Merry and Pippin. They're funny. They're it's always Pippin getting into trouble,
Mhm.
Merry having to save him, um, or being there to get him out of trouble. Um, and I mean the first time we see Merry and Pippin, what are they doing?
Stealing from what's his name? The
Gandalf.
farmer. Oh no, Gandalf. No, you're right. It is Gandalf, but they do
Gandalf
steal
and the
from
fireworks.
Yeah.
Because they go for the biggest one, and it's the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And so they start off the first time we see him from the get go. It's stealing the firework. Then next time we see him, it's stealing from the farmer. I mean they're the comedic relief, but at the same time, you also see both of their bravery.
Mm-hmm.
You see both of them, and they're both brave in different ways. Pippin was, I'm gonna go into battle, or Mary was, I'm gonna go into battle. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna. Pippin, on the other hand, was, I'm gonna stand up to the man who thinks he's king,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna help save Faramir.
Yeah.
And so, um, it's you get to see both of them. And you even get to see the smart side of Pippin later on in
Mm.
Two Towers. So, and we can get to that the next show.
That's gonna be a really good discussion. I mean,
Two
like I
Towers
said,
is
I
my
think
favorite
this
show.
one is just my favorite because it's the one that I watched the most of.
Because you start it and then you can't get through your series, and then you go
And
so
then you
long
got
that you
to,
have to
yeah, and
start
then you
over
have to
again.
start over. Yep, exactly.
No, when it comes to Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, once I start, I don't stop until I'm finished.
Must be nice.
Loser.
Anyway,
Loser.
I do apologize, guys. This is going to be one of the shorter shows. I made some obligations tonight, so
Oh,
we
I
have to
can
start
stay
wrapping
on.
up here soon. John did say that he'll stick around, hang out with you guys, talk about his favorite movies.
Shish kebabs.
Well, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna listen to John's explanation of why he hasn't seen Lord of the Rings yet.
It's funny. So I asked him last week about this, and he goes, "Well, I've never seen them." And I go, "Well, it sounds like you have homework to do."
I have a short
So-
attention span. I can't watch a movie that is drawn out over time. I need high-paced action right off the get-go to suck me in. That sounds wrong.
I am ADHD. I am the picture of ADHD. You go look in the medical books under ADHD and you find my picture. And I can sit there and watch Lord of the Rings. You can do it, John.
Why'd you point at Andrew? I'm over here.
You can do it, John.
Andrew's next to me. Oh, fuck it. I don't know.
Right there.
Right
Are you there?
there you
Am
go.
I the right way? I don't know.
You're
I'm
pointing at
like
your...
on my screen. On my
No,
screen, you're there.
point the
But it
opposite
sounds
way.
that way.
Yeah, Sam's the center of attention of mine.
You point the opposite way. So now I'm pointing at John. Now I'm pointing at Andrea.
How about up this way?
So anyway, it's good to be back. I've missed being on the show, but a hiatus was very much needed for my mental and personal health. And
No, I can...
Well, we will have to plan our next one.
Wait, you guys
will
can
have to
do
plan
the
the
last
next one.
Friday of next month, too.
We can try.
Well,
We can try.
Yeah, well.
And we'll see if we can get one in between there.
You guys let me know, okay? You guys are always welcome on the show. You know that. I don't have to pull a leg or give an arm. And who knows, maybe if Sam wants to next time, he can figure out how to co-stream on his page, too.
You don't want me to co-stream, then we get too many of my students coming in, and you don't want them coming in. No, thank
Sure
you.
do.
I,
We want all the followers.
I spend all day with them. I don't want to spend my evenings at home with them.
that's fair. So
I need new followers. Bring them in. I mean, they're going to ask you in school, Mr. Simmons, what the hell was that show last night? But because they spend one night in this show, they're going to be hooked. Okay? We have a lot of fun here. You guys know that. Now, imagine your students coming in on a Tuesday night. It might get you in trouble, might get me in trouble. You might be getting called in.
I'm not on the stream. I ain't getting in trouble.
Well, I'm just saying, if you co-stream and they start coming in more shows, that's what I mean. You might get in trouble.
So we're gonna get off and we're gonna watch the viewership rise because the fans love John.
Yeah, my ass. No one loves me. Nobody likes me.
We all know that all these followers are all because of Andrea.
Exactly. No, Andrea and Morgan. Okay, considering every single show, there's at least one or two hashtags here for Andrea, here for Morgan. Nobody likes John. Like, I'm the forgotten soul.
You're the owner, and you don't get no love.
I know. You gotta stink. Go away.
We're gonna rename the show
Me,
"The Basement Show with Morgan and Andrea."
Fine by me. I'll sell this. I can buy. This is a 1-of-1. I can make some money off this.
Oh look, Ron's
I mean-
got you.
I mean, so what you're telling me um, is on Thursday, I need to come in and just put hashtag here for Matt.
Yeah, I mean, you'll fit right in. Everybody disses me. It's cool. I love all you guys. You guys are all a big help. Here for myself. Wow. That's original, Sam. I will give you that. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Here for myself.
Self-conceited motherfucker.
The only reason I'm watching this show is because I'm on it.
Anyway, guys, I gotta get going. Have a
All
great night. Thanks for having me back, and I'll be back in 2 weeks. Me and John have a pretty fun idea for a show. I just gotta finish setting it up.
Sounds like fun.
I don't know when I'll be back.
Go
Sam
Denver
will be
Nuggets.
back when I'm ready.
Go Denver Nuggets. I'm just kidding. Have a good night, Andrea.
Bye.
You know what? For that, John,
What? We're going to do, Mr. Zimmerman.
that was a low blow.
Yeah? Who's the Astros playing this weekend?
Right now, they're playing the White Sox.
Let's go, White Sox. Yeah, how you like that one? What you gonna say? We gonna say about that one? Oh yeah, I'm on fire.
Let's see. Are they playing right now? They're down 3-2 right now to the White Sox.
Let's go, White Sox. Here we go. That's all right. My Phillies had a 5-0 lead yesterday and blew it and lost 11-7 to the Texas Rangers. Okay, so I know how you feel. It's okay.
Are the Phillies aren't playing tonight?
No, they played yesterday, so they had the off day today to have the tomorrow.
Oh, they didn't. They're not doing a series?
No, they are, but I think MLB split opening day, so there wasn't too many games on one day. So if you didn't have an opening day yesterday, I think they were trying to do opening day today for the other teams, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because all the teams that are playing today also played yesterday.
Oh well, I guess
Houston and Chicago,
I guess
the Guardians and the Mariners, Rockies and Padres.
I guess the
Yep, I
Phillies
guess
are
so.
special.
Well, I could have told you that one.
Easy there, Smokey.
I will say this. I do feel really bad for the sports fans in Philly. I'm waiting for the riots. I'm waiting for the riots after the 76ers make it to the NBA Finals and lose. Because I swear there will be no more Philadelphia if that happens.
You know what, Mr. Sims? You're testing my patience. I'm just kidding. I mean, if the Sixers don't succeed this year, then you're going to see a new coach next year. Because the Sixers fans want to win. We have talent in place. We just have not pulled it together. And it's getting very annoying. I mean, they won tonight. They beat the Toronto Raptors tonight, which was a big win. But they have to get past the second round this year or Doc Rivers gets fired, in my opinion. I got the thumbs up. What are you doing? If you gotta go, you gotta go. Oh boy. I don't know what he's doing. I'm scared to find out. But you're still muted. Hey,
Alright, there we go. Okay, I do gotta go though.
Yeah. Go. Bye.
So, fiance just called. Have a good night, John.
Go White Sox.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on with Andrea. Andrea, if you can still hear, it was a great show. You guys have a good night. Ron, Jack, who else came in? Curtis. I think that was about it. Of course, you, John.
Of course, Mr. McMahon.
All right.
Just kidding.
Have a good one, John.
Later. All right. Now you got me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. Anybody still in the chat who wants to chit chat for a while, let me know. I mean, I can go for a little bit. If you guys want to hang out and chit chat, it's up to you guys. I know I had sent Mr. Ron a message. If he wanted to load up, he was more than welcome to. If he wanted to keep the show going with me for a little bit, we'll see what people have in store. Hope everyone is having a good Friday night. I mean, I know Lord of the Rings isn't everyone's cup of tea. It's not personally one of mine, but there's a lot of movies I have been told I need to watch, and the Lord of the Rings being one of them. But I think the one that people most likely want me to watch right off the get-go will be the Star Wars movies, because I have yet to see any of the Star Wars movies neither. So, hope that, other than that, like I said, I hope everyone's having a good Friday night. If you're still in chat and you want to chat about something other than Lord of the Rings, since I have not seen it, now's your chance to chime in the chat. Let me know what is on your movie mind for a Friday night. So, if not, I can always end the show and start my weekend. It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm fine with whatever. So, let me know what you guys in the chat think. I mean, I can pull up a list. We can go with some movies that you have seen in the chat. If there's something specific that you want to talk about, maybe I've seen it, haven't seen it. So, I'm up for anything. Let me know. So I'm just getting a message real quick. So, sorry about that. Does it involve finger traps? I want to know what you mean by does it involve finger traps, Mr. Ron? Is a weird question to ask. So, hey, I didn't know he was jumping in. Here we go. Hi.
Hey,
How's it going, my buddy?
what's up?
How's it going tonight? I mean, I didn't know if I should keep the show going or not, but you're here, so we can chat for a while.
Yeah, okay. Now, you asked what Sam was doing. I was just wondering if it involved any finger traps.
No, his fiance was calling. I think she wanted to do some more wedding planning. I got my wedding invitation today for the wedding, actually. So
Nice.
And then I was giving him a hard time because him being a Houston Astros fan, you got to go opposite, okay?
Yeah. The anti-Philly fan.
Yeah, the anti-Philly fan. That's all right. I don't blame him. But yeah, how's your Friday going?
Oh, just dandy.
Yeah, mine too. I got
a wonderful day at work, and then got home and had to get called about an issue and had to deal with that off the clock, and then ordered out for some dinner because I'm here all by myself, and here we are.
Yeah, I hear you.
Enjoying talking about a movie that I've never seen. So, hey, it's all good.
That is very true. You're not wrong about that. So that's why I hung off camera most of the night. And was popping in occasionally. I didn't know they were making fun of me because I didn't really turn on the camera, but I turned it on my mic so you could still hear me. So they were starting to call me Morgan Freeman and stuff, which is kind of funny. But
yeah, I was lurking. I heard it all. I was trying to absorb some information,
Yeah, well, all I can say about that is good luck. If I can't absorb it and I'm a movie genius, I mean, maybe you can, and then you can teach me.
Yeah, let's
do a hard
let's
pass
pump
on
the
that.
brakes on the whole genius thing.
That's why.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean,
well, that's why when I shared the stream out, I was like, "Come hang out with the Lord of the Rings geniuses," and I tagged Sam and Andrea in it because I know nothing about them.
No.
And I mean,
now you want to talk Smokey and the Bandit? That's a little different.
Original or remake? Because now you make me feel old.
Oh, of course, the original.
So the original was Burt Reynolds, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm on the board. Let's go. I can't tell you anything else about it, but Burt Reynolds was known for that movie, okay?
You never saw Smokey and the Bandit. Please tell me.
I've seen some of it.
Oh, my God, man.
All right, I'll go off camera. You can talk about it. I'll hang off screen. I'll get kicked off my intro again.
No. You got to see Smokey and the Bandit, man.
Just like I've only seen bits and pieces of the original Bad News Bears with Walter Malfoy. I haven't seen the whole thing of that neither. The Billy Bob Thornton one's funny. What are you gonna do with me? Is that what you're saying? Is that you're gonna,
Yeah. That's kind of where my brain space is right now. It's like,
am I getting fired?
not at all. Nope. We
Am I-
don't want to have to change all the logos, so.
I mean, you can. You guys can. You can take my name off of it.
No, hey, I heard I'm going off too. It's going to be the Andrea and Morgan show.
Yeah, the basement show of Andrea and Morgan. I heard. You heard that too. Good. I'm not the only one that heard it. So it's been a nice run.
Yeah.
I just want to thank all my fans.
I lasted a couple months.
Just shy of 8, actually.
Yeah.
But apparently I'm being replaced. It's been nice knowing everybody.
I just bought a T-shirt.
Hey, that T-shirt can be worth money now because it's worth
I like
one.
that T-shirt. That T-shirt is sharp. I can't wait to be able to get one of those.
Same with this. This can be worth some money.
Yeah, there you go.
I can make a fortune. You guys would be lost without me.
You're right.
Because I would stop all the subscriptions. You guys would have to sign up for everything. You would have to figure out how to run intros, how to do
no
comments.
No, thank you.
If you couldn't tell, I was off camera, but I've been sitting at my computer the whole time. So I put in the private chat if they wanted me to look up stuff for them because they were going back and forth. And that's when Andrew said to start looking up trivia. So I started typing in questions for them. I mean, they had about 6 or 7 viewers in here, though. Maybe we can...
Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Lot better than Monday.
Hey, look, it happens, okay? I told you that.
No, I'm saying me. It had nothing to do, life happens for you, but nobody wanted to play with me Monday. I felt like I was over in the corner and people were shooting spitballs at me.
See, now, if I could do both, unload trucks, I didn't want to be like Kevin, okay? I didn't want to unload trucks with my phone on the jack and have it fall in and bust.
Yeah,
okay?
next thing you know, it's nothing but trouble.
Yeah. Plus, I was working with my grocery manager, and that's the last thing you want to do is being on your phone, unloading trucks on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I will be back Monday night, I promise. It's my day off, and I told him I'm turning my phone off.
We're all good.
And just like tomorrow, since I worked Monday, I basically told him, I was like, I'm doing a half day Saturday. He's like, okay.
Yeah. There you go.
He's like, you don't want the extra hours? I was like, why? So Uncle Sam can take all my money again? Well, you know how it goes. The more you work, the more money they take you on taxes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And then you'll be like Joe Pesci in Lethal Weapon 2. They fuck you. Yes, I've seen all 4 Lethal Weapon movies. That's movies I have seen, okay?
Okay.
And I'm sure you've seen them all, too.
I have.
Great movies.
Yep, they are.
Now, since we're on that subject of Lethal Weapon movies, if you had to rank them 1 through 4, how would you rank them?
Oh, wow.
There's a mind question.
Yeah. I mean, the original is, I like the original just because it kind of laid the foundation. And you got to see the early development of the Mel Gibson character. So I probably have to put that first, and then probably 2 second. I mean, and then 3 and 4 were kind of,
Yin and yang.
Yeah, I take them like 3A and 3B.
Okay. I'm gonna shock you.
Okay.
I actually like number 2 a tiny bit more than the first one.
Okay.
So
I can see that. It was good.
My order would go 2, 1, 4, 3.
Okay.
don't get me wrong, the third one's good with the bad cop, dirty cop whole thing.
Yeah.
But number 4 with Chris Rock as Butters was hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had a whole new comic aspect to it with adding Chris Rock and stuff like that to it.
That's true.
It just made it funny.
Yep.
But the second one, like the opening scene of Lethal Weapon 2, when they're in that police chase, and you just see Mel Gibson punching the roof, losing his mind. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But and then
I haven't seen them in a while. I got to go back and watch them.
I have them on Blu-ray. I watch them at least once or twice every other month.
Yeah. Okay, so now TikTok has pointed me to a movie now that I have to find. It's not on any of the streaming services.
Oh boy.
However, it was nominated for some Academy Awards.
Okay.
And it stars Michael Keaton. And it's a movie called The Founder.
The Founder.
Which is the story of Ray Kroc and the beginnings of McDonald's.
So that came out. I think that came out recently, if I'm not mistaken.
It wasn't that long ago. It was probably 10 years ago, maybe. Ish. Maybe 8. It seems like. I'm not sure when it came out, but I've just recently been exposed to some clips from it, and it reminded me how much I wanted to see it.
So I don't think I've seen that one, but there was another movie that came out about McDonald's a couple years back that really made people discuss it. And that was Super Size Me. When the guy eats nothing about McDonald's for 30 days.
Yeah, he almost killed himself.
I mean, why would you do that?
I don't know. To make a movie, I guess.
I guess so.
Yep.
That movie was just like scary. I mean, I think he wound up gaining like 40 pounds or something.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And then his cholesterol went through the roof, they said?
Yeah. 2016.
Okay, so...
was The Founder. So 6 years ago.
Probably 6, almost 7.
6 or 7, yeah. So I was pretty close.
Yeah. So, speaking of Michael Keaton, okay, you know me, since I sent you the picture of what I found you that one day at the thrift store, the Marx Brothers series.
Yep.
Prior to that, about a month ago, I found a brand new copy, still wrapped in plastic and everything. Mr. Mom.
Oh, wow. Good one.
I only had to pay $2 for it because it was on DVD.
It's one of my top 5 Michael Keaton movies, I think.
Okay, now I'm curious to know your tops. So go ahead.
Well, we've discussed before, I really liked Multiplicity.
Mm-hmm.
So Multiplicity's up there. Now, this is in no particular order.
Okay.
Multiplicity, Mr. Mom, the original Batman, the second Batman, and I got a sneaking suspicion that once I see this thing front to back, that The Founder's going to be right up there too.
Okay, I could go with that. I mean, there was 2 movies that you forgot. Well, actually 3.
Well, Beetlejuice.
Okay,
yeah, you'd have to put Beetlejuice in there.
Okay, well, good. You remembered that one.
Yeah.
So, my list would include Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Batman, not the second one, just the first one, because there's other movies that I would put before the second one. The second one's good.
Yeah.
But it's not in my top 5. It would be way outside my top 5.
Okay.
So Beetlejuice 1.
Mm-hmm.
Batman 2.
Mm-hmm.
Pacific Heights.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Number 3. Him.
Melanie Griffith.
And Matthew Modine.
Matthew Modine, right.
Great movie.
Yeah, he was good in that, too.
Desperate Measures. I don't know if you ever seen that one or not.
That's a stretch. Oh, and I forgot to mention Clean and Sober.
Clean and Sober was a good one.
Which parts of that were shot in Camden.
I did read about that.
It was actually the Admiral Hotel on Admiral Wilson Boulevard before they tore it down.
Damn.
And they actually shot some scenes in Gloucester.
Hmm.
Right on Broadway in Gloucester.
Very nice.
So if you actually go back and look at that movie, you'll recognize some of the areas.
I will definitely have to do that.
They shot in Gloucester for like 3 days.
Wow. So I don't know if you've ever seen Desperate Measures or not.
I don't think I have. I mean, I heard of it, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Okay, it's an old Michael Keaton and Andy Garcia movie.
Okay.
Okay. Basically, Michael Keaton plays a complete psychopath, which is freaking badass. It's awesome. Okay. And he is a apparent bone marrow match to Andy Garcia's son. Andy Garcia plays a cop in this movie.
Right.
So, Andy Garcia, being a cop, goes to the prison that Michael Keaton's stationed in and tries to make him a plea deal so he would agree to give the bone marrow to his son to save his life.
Right.
It's a good thriller, action-packed movie that if you haven't seen it yet, you have to.
Okay. I will definitely put that on the list.
Number 5, another Michael Keaton first, is a movie called Night Shift.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Henry Winkler, directed by, actually was the first film directed by Ron Howard, I believe.
Yes, and that movie is an absolute classic.
That was a great movie. Yeah, I totally forgot about that one. That's right up there as well. He's just a good actor. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
He's done it all.
And then an honorable mention that if you haven't seen it, again, I'm sure you have to see it. The Dream Team.
Dream Team, yeah. Yep.
Great. That's like right. Like,
Christopher Lloyd. Christopher Lloyd was real good in that.
Yeah, he plays the wannabe doctor.
Yeah.
Jack Ramsey, I believe.
Yeah. Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle, that's the one I was trying to think of too.
Yeah. The Frankenstein monster from Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
And the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely right outside the top 5. I'd see like a 5B, 5C.
Yeah.
To go with Batman 2. But like you said, you can't go wrong with Michael Keaton movies.
No, I don't think he's made a bad movie that I can remember.
The one that
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost is a good one. Yep.
Yeah, got Jack Frost too.
Birdman,
yes, very much a take on the whole Batman experience.
Yeah, that was a very dark movie too.
And that was also nominated for some Academy Awards as well.
Yep. What else has he done? God, he's been in so much I can't think off the top of my head. I have to look at his filmography. God, I am drawing a blank.
Yeah, I'm sure there's ones we didn't mention that are right up there as well.
Let's see. I see if I can find a list. Actually, why am I losing my phone? If I do that, I lose a viewer. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up my second monitor. I'll look. Let's see. Michael Keaton films. Keaton, but yeah, Multiplicity. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah, that's my baseball. Let's see. We got Rabbit Test, A Different Approach, was his first 2 movies in 1978. Night Shift, Mr. Mom, Johnny Dangerously.
Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yep.
Is the Vulture. He was real good in that too.
Very true. He plays Morbius too. He's in Vulture in that one. Dumbo, I don't think I've seen that with him in it. Yes, The Founder was 2016. So.
Yeah, Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah,
I forgot one.
That came out in 1980.
That's a hilarious movie. I love that movie.
That came out right after Mr. Mom, so that was in the mid 80s.
84.
Yep. Gung Ho.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one.
Touch and Go. The Squeeze. She's Having a Baby. You're Clean and Sober. Then you did the Dream Team. Batman. Pacific Heights. One Good Cop was another really good one.
Yeah. The Paper.
Paper 1994. Yep. Speechless. My Life. Inventing the Abbots. I don't think I've ever seen that one. He's just a narrator though. Jack Frost, you said that one. Body Shots. I don't think I've seen that one. One of his more cheesier roles, First Daughter. He plays the President of the United States in it, and Katie Holmes plays his daughter. I would say that's more like a Disney type movie,
Yeah.
but he does play that one. White Noise, with him and who's the other chick in this movie? Why am I dropping her name? Is this her? Yeah, Deborah Kara Unger. White Noise was another really creepy movie.
Okay.
He
was the voice. He was the voice of Ken, as in Barbie and Ken in Toy Story 3.
Yep, that's 2010. Very good. Herbie Fully Loaded, another Disney movie with him and Lindsay Lohan. He plays Lindsay Lohan's father.
Right.
What else do we have? The other guys. He was in the new RoboCop 2014. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
And then the movie that's coming out this year, The Flash, he is reprising his role as Batman.
Yes.
Probably one of the reasons I'll go see it.
That would be one of the few reasons that I would go see it, I think.
And then he appeared in a lot of TV shows, apparently, too.
Yeah.
From 1970. Well, he was actually on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood in 1975, where he got his start. Interesting.
Wow.
And he's the voice of a couple callovers in video games too. 2006, 2009, Call of Duty Black Ops. Interesting. A very acclaimed actor, that's for damn sure. 71, so he'll be 72 in September. Wow.
Wow.
Why are all the good actors getting old, Ron?
I know. You know, you got a lot of movie watching to watch before they die. You know,
Yeah.
since you seem to skip some.
Well, like Denzel's another one. He's gonna be 69 this year.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking to see some of your favorite actors like, and they're getting older. Like Morgan Freeman's gonna be 86 this year.
Wow.
Morgan, like he's the ageless one. Like how do you ever replace a Morgan Freeman? You can't. Am I right or am I right?
Nah, you're right. Absolutely.
Who else? Not that early actors anymore. But Jack Nicholson again, gonna be 86 this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't acted in a while, but like he's another classic one growing up. I think Jim Carrey's in his 70s now, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh wow, that would be crazy.
No, Jim Carrey's 61. Okay, he just turned 61. But he's come out and he said he's done acting.
Yeah.
Then you got Bruce Willis going through what he's going through with the frontal dementia and all that. It's a shame.
Yep.
Hollywood is in trouble, in a sense. Like Mel Gibson, he just turned 67 years old. Danny Glover's probably in his 70s by now.
Yeah. So what? Like 10 years from now, we're going to be saying, "Oh man, that classic actor Ryan Gosling." What? Seriously?
Well, since you said him, I'm going to pull him up. Yeah, he's going to be 43 in November.
Yeah.
It's just mind blowing. Like, granted, I'm not trying to knock it, but like, I'm sure you've seen your fair share of your favorite actors from your time period go away.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Now,
True.
You're taking some of my favorite actors from when I grew up, like Morgan Freeman, Denzel, Jim Carrey, all of them, and now they're getting older.
Yeah.
And the generation coming up, granted, there are some, but they don't match what we had growing up.
No, not at all.
Like, as much as you love Seth Rogen, he's not a Chris Farley or anybody like that.
No, he's not. And if we have to rest our comedic movie future on Pete Davidson, we're in trouble.
Yeah, that is very true. Why does that name sound familiar? Hold on, Pete Davidson.
From Saturday Night Live.
Oh, yeah, him. I mean, he's almost 30.
Yeah. So I guess we have to bank on Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, probably another one that's in his.
He's probably in his late 20s.
Yeah, he'll be 27 in June.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, but Tom Holland was a pretty good Spider-Man. I will say that.
He was. He the way to judge now, I've said this about Batman, and I've said it about Spider-Man, and I've said it about Superman. And basically you can pretty much tailor it to all the superhero movies. If the alter ego, aka the Clark Kent, the Bruce Wayne, is believable, that's how you judge who has adapted that role the best.
True.
You know, I found that Christopher Reeve was a perfect Clark Kent. I found that Michael Keaton was right up there. Probably between Keaton and Bale were probably the ones that best personified what I would picture Bruce Wayne to be. You know, as far as the way that they conducted themselves.
Okay.
A little eccentric, but yet, hey, I'm Bruce Wayne, you know?
Yeah.
You know, whereas, you know, the Val Kilmers, the George Clooney's really didn't translate well to the Bruce Wayne character.
See, a lot of people would beg to differ because a lot of people hated him as Batman, but gave George Clooney a lot of credit for the Bruce Wayne he played.
Well, he had a horrible script. I mean,
Joe
let's
Schumacher
be honest.
destroyed that movie.
Yeah. I mean, that script was trash.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could have done so much more with it, and they didn't. But you know, hey, it was mainly there to sell merchandise.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why they let Schumacher run with it.
I like. If you ask me, after Batman Forever with Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey,
Yeah.
all of them, that it
Nicole
should've stopped.
Kidman.
Yeah, well, I was trying to leave her out, but yes, Dr.
Oh,
Chase
come on,
Meridian.
Dr. Chase Meridian, man. That's,
And we were just saying the same thing, but no, I mean,
the bat signal is not a beeper.
oh no. Yeah, I have that stuck in my head now.
Yeah.
But see, they have the cast in place. I think they could have done a better job casting Batman. I was not sold on Val Kilmer in that movie.
No.
There was parts in that movie he just seems like he didn't want to do it.
I really would have loved to have seen Robin Williams' version of the Riddler. Even though Jim Carrey did a great job. But Robin Williams was originally going to take the role.
Oh, now that changes the whole aspect of that movie.
You know, I mean, if you had thrown him in there, I think I would have liked to have seen his take on it.
But does he coincide well with Tommy Lee Jones?
Well, that's the thing. And I think that dynamic. But Tommy Lee Jones, just to let you know, Tommy Lee Jones almost quit the movie because he could not stand Jim Carrey.
I believe it.
He hated him.
Well, they're two
He
different
couldn't even
actors.
be on the same scene with him without, you know, pissing fire at him the whole time.
Good way to put it. I mean,
Hated him. Yeah, take that for a visual.
no, well, I'm saying there are certain scenes in that movie that you see that animosity on screen.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, Jim Carrey was trying to steal his role or what, but
No, what it mainly was it was Jim Carrey would constantly improvise, and Tommy Lee Jones was not digging it. and they had to do multiple takes. They had to keep on doing multiple takes, and he was in all that makeup, and he was not in a good mood to begin with. And the longer he had to spend in that makeup, the more uncomfortable he got. And the more uncomfortable he got, the more that he despised the fact that Jim Carrey was playing around and making him do scenes over and over again.
True. I'm missing one. When movie came out compared to the other one? I'm looking at Tommy Lee Jones real quick. Okay, I want to say one came out in '99, but I am wrong. Damn, I'm always wrong. That's okay. Because when Batman Forever came out, that came out in '95.
Okay.
So that was in between The Client, The Fugitive, U.S. Marshals, Volcano. But there's another Tommy Lee Jones movie. There it is, '94. So it was the same year as The Client. A movie called Blown Away.
Yes.
With him and Jeffrey Bridges.
Yep. Is the IRA, the Irish bomber.
Yes. His accent in that movie, to this day, sticks in my head.
Yeah.
And I just feel
that was a very underrated film.
Yes. That's one movie that I have in my collection. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yep.
It's one of my 337 movies. And his character in that movie is awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just trying to look on the movie list he does, because there's a lot of movies that he does in multiple years that came out the same year.
Yeah, he was busy for a few years there. He was pumping them out like there was no tomorrow. He was like Nick Cage at one time, where it seemed like every movie that came out had Nick Cage in it.
Yeah. Well, '94 alone, he had 5 movies come out.
Yeah.
Blown Away, which was a great movie. The Client. When he
Great movie.
Reverend Roy Fogle.
Yeah.
National Born Killers.
Great movie.
Blue Sky.
I don't know that I watched Blue Sky.
And he portrays Ty Cobb in the movie Cobb.
Yes, he did.
That's all just 1994.
Yep.
That's a hell of a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
4 out of those 5 movies, but Blue Sky being the exception, were box office smashes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how well Blown Away and all of them did, but like The Client was great.
I think he was nominated for an Oscar that year, just mainly for body of work, but I think specifically it might have been for the Ty Cobb role.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly, but what was it, 95?
94.
94?
Yeah. But, I mean, so many good movies on this list that he's just Tommy Lee Jones has done alone. Like, I love The Fugitive.
No, not 94. 94 was the nominees for Best Actor were Anthony Hopkins for Remains of the Day, Liam Neeson for Schindler's List, Daniel Day-Lewis in The Name of the Father, Lawrence Fishburne in What's Love Got to Do with It, playing Ike Turner, and Tom Hanks for Philadelphia.
And if I was to be a betting man without looking, Schindler's List won it.
Actually, no. Tom Hanks.
Really?
For Philadelphia. Yeah.
Well, that's a great movie too, though.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you, the ending gets me all the time. I mean, it's not funny to laugh, but...
Tom Hanks won it 2 years in a row. He won it for Philadelphia, and then he won it for Forrest Gump the next year.
Well, you can't beat Forrest Gump. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump was another great movie.
Yep.
So the Academy Award, he actually won in 1993 for Best Supporting Actor for the movie The Fugitive with him and Harrison Ford. He plays Deputy Samuel Gerard.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Now, they never really announced it, but The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals, you might as well say they were 1 and 2. They were like sequels.
Yes. Yeah, they were.
So they don't really come off that way, but like you have almost the same exact cast. Just take out Harrison Ford, replace him with Wesley Snipes, and then add that second goal. But like Gerard's team is exactly the same in that one as it is.
Yeah, and they're the same characters.
Yeah. There's only
Yeah.
one addition in U.S. Marshals.
Right.
Remember who it was?
No.
Robert Downey Jr.
Really?
Yep.
Why don't I remember that?
Because he plays the new guy. The dirty.
Okay.
He's the dirty cop trying to go after Wesley Snipes and take him out himself.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
Robert Downey Jr. was added to the U.S. Marshals. He wasn't in The Fugitive.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
but-
Tommy Lee was really a very very serious actor. I mean, through his whole career, and then when he popped up in Men in Black, and kind of stole the show. I mean, is a great character.
Yeah.
Just
And-
a tribute to his talent.
Yeah, because he did Men in Black in '97, then they took a 5-year hiatus for Men in Black 2, and then Men in Black 3 came out 10 years later.
Yeah.
So they were spaced out movies, not all back to back to back, like you would think they would be.
Spaced out. I get it.
Well, it's actually funny because 2 years prior to him doing Men in Black 2, Space Cowboys came out.
Okay. Yep.
With him, Clint Eastwood, and everybody in that movie.
And Scott Glenn, Ed Harris.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh no, Ed Harris was the right stuff.
Donald Sutherland,
Yeah.
James Gardner, Matt McComb, Eli Craig, Toby Stevens.
I got the two space movies crossed up.
Well, you're thinking Armageddon.
No, I was thinking of I just said it. It just went right out of my head.
Lost in Space.
No, Lost in Space. Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith in Lost in Space.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent. They used the voice of the original robot
Nice.
in the movie. That had let's see who William Hurt. You had the mom was what's her name? Dark hair. Shoot.
I'm trying
I'm
to see if I
blanking.
can- I'm trying to see if
But
I can find a
but
list
the
of all
funny
the-
one of the funny things about Lost in Space was that Matthew Perry at the time that Lost in Space was made, Friends was at its height of popularity.
Okay.
Matthew Perry was offered the role of Don. And he went to his good friend, Matt LeBlanc, and he said, look, I got this script, I want Lost in Space, and, do you think I should do it? And Matt LeBlanc said, nah, I probably really isn't for you, and kind of talked him out of it. And next thing you know, Matt LeBlanc is in the movie.
Yep, as Major Don West.
Don West, yep. But Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith, absolutely tremendous. Gary Oldman's another actor that I absolutely, anything he's been in has always been amazing. He is just a jack of all trades, from Commissioner Gordon in the Batmans and the Christian Bale Batmans to Fifth Element, which was an amazing role, to JFK, to Lost in Space.
You're forgetting one main one too.
I mean, he's been in so many.
Leon the Professional.
Okay. Yeah.
Then if you really want to go older than that, Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One, yeah. Get off of my plane.
See, that movie. I think that movie gets such a bad rep, but it wasn't that bad of a movie.
No, it wasn't. You just kind of had to dispel belief that the president of the United States would be able to kick some ass.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
that.
between that and Independence Day.
Yeah. Well, the thing that really made me like I don't want to say hate, but like question Air Force One is the very ending of the movie when the plane's crashing on the water. The CGI was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
If you could make that a little bit more realistic, that scene would have been dynamite.
Because when they did it in the Tom Hanks movie, the where he played Sully in the plane, what was that called?
Sully.
Sully. Okay, that was the name of the movie, right?
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I mean that looked believable.
Yeah. Air Force One didn't.
No.
Granted, it was 1997 when that came out, so
Right.
fast forward 20 years, a lot of things changed
True.
in filmmaking, but
Yeah. But it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't Ed Wood like. I mean, you didn't see the strings or anything.
yeah, that is very true. I will give you that.
It wasn't Plan 9 from outer space.
Or the original World of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Yeah, that's another one.
We actually watched that in school one year. The original one. And
Yeah. Well, like I said, if you ever do see Plan 9 from outer space, you notice that the second half of the movie, the Bela Lugosi character has a cape up under his eyes the whole time because he died during production. And they had to shoot the rest of his scenes with a stand-in actor with a cape over his face.
Yeah, that's crazy. The things that Hollywood does.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays they would probably just recast him and, well, I hate to say it, but like what they're doing with Paul Walker. They're trying to make him reappear in the last two Fast and the Furious movies, even though he's dead.
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
And there's some people that aren't real crazy about that too.
No, I'm not. I mean, you're kind of ruining a man's life.
Although the Walker family apparently is comfortable with it.
Well, because they want to see the last, because they're doing part 1 this year and then part 2 next year. That's it.
Yeah.
They've announced that they're done.
But Rock's done with it, right? I think one of them is either, yeah, because I think him and Diesel have a thing going.
Yeah. So I mean, I stopped watching them after 7. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think I stopped before that.
Fast 5 was okay. Fast 6, but
I think I stopped at 4 or 5.
After a while, it gets drug out.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just going for the money.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather go with like Nick Cage and Gone in 60 Seconds, you know.
True.
With Angie Jolie.
Yeah, I mean, that is a good choice.
And Nick Cage. That was a good one.
So, okay, so they haven't officially announced it yet, but apparently, oh wait, here we go, Lethal Weapon finale. So, Lethal Weapon finale, there have been long talks of a fifth Lethal Weapon film, although both Gibson and Danny Glover initially expressed lack of interest. Gibson confirmed in November 21 that he was in talks to direct and star in the fifth film.
Okay.
So I'm guessing they may try to do a cheesy one to end it.
And I would say the comment from Danny Glover in that article should be, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Well, the only reason I think they are going to try to attempt it is Richard Donner personally gave Mel Gibson the script and said, I want you to direct this before he died.
Yeah.
So Mel Gibson felt impelled to keep it going.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're both getting too old for it. How do you do it?
You almost have to do it like, you know, they're retired and like their sons are partners, you know, and put some young actors in there.
Yeah. But I'm just curious. I mean, it's saying it was reported that Richard Wenk, that's his name, Richard Wenk, W-E-N-K, he wrote The Equalizer, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, has drafted the screenplay.
Okay.
So, I mean, The Equalizer was a good movie. I've never seen Jack Reacher, but...
I've seen some stuff from some clips from Reacher. It's actually pretty good.
So if he did draft the screenplay, I mean, it could have potential, but like you said, Mel Gibson's 67 and Danny Glover's older than that, so I don't know how they do it. But me being a Lethal Weapon fan, I will go and see it if it comes out.
Yeah.
You kind of have to at that point. You invest it.
Yeah, you're invested in the franchise. You have to kind of see it through. I agree with that.
Even though
unless it's totally jumped the shark.
Yeah, well, that was like the remake of Child's Play.
Yeah.
From the original compared to the one that came out 3 years ago. The one that came out 3 years ago, I was like, what am I watching?
But actually, the TV series is not bad.
Chucky,
I mean, because they got all the original people involved.
Yes.
I mean, you got Jennifer Tilly in there. And you got, you got the original. Well, it isn't the original Chucky, but it's the second Chucky, I think. It's not Brad. Is it Brad Dourif?
Yep.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, I defer. I say, well done.
I mean, I'm trying to see if they've announced. I know they announced a third season. I just don't know when it's supposed to premiere.
Yeah.
Because the second season, the way they ended the second season was dynamite. I don't know if you watched the whole entire second season.
I didn't catch the last couple episodes.
I see. Me being a Chucky fan, I watched the show religiously.
I'll have to go back and check it.
Because once I heard that everybody was coming back, like the original cast, Don Mancini had a lot to say in it. It's like,
yeah,
sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, the man's a genius when it comes to the Chucky movies. We could do a whole Chucky night one night, and I'd be in my glory. I would even bring down my Chucky doll. I have a Chucky doll now.
Oh, there you go.
So I could bring Chucky. He could sit right next to me, and we can talk all night about him.
Nice.
It might be a way to scare people away, but hey.
Yeah, this is true. Especially when he starts talking when you're not touching him.
Yeah, I mean, I could make him. He does talk. So. But no, the Chucky TV series has been very good.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like it's nice to see Jennifer Tilly back in it. Like I said, Brad Dourif as the voice.
Yeah.
Alex Vincent as Andy. Christy Isles as Kyle. She had a couple shows on there. I don't know who the kids that play Glenn and Glenda are, but they've been doing good. The other teenagers have been doing very good. Yeah, I'm excited for season 3. I think it should start sometime in October.
Nice.
So you got time to catch up on season 2.
Yeah, I got time to get caught up.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to be movies. We could do a whole show one night if we want to on TV shows.
Yeah.
I mean, that's type of movies, because sometimes movies get turned into TV shows.
Yeah, that's true.
But, yeah.
I mean, you could do a whole one of movies that were turned into TV shows or TV shows that were turned into movies.
That is, yeah. Definitely a lot of open avenues with this type of stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like one that comes to mind almost immediately is MASH.
Yeah.
Because the amount of success it had on TV and the fact that it was actually an Academy Award nominated film.
True.
Actually, I think the theme song won an Oscar for Suicide is Painless, which is the theme from MASH.
Wow. Yeah, I would have to definitely look that one up.
Yeah, the only actor that was in both the series and the film was Radar, Gary Berghoff.
I think you mentioned that before.
I did mention that before because it popped up on one of our lists, I think.
So MASH Gives a Damn. It came out in what, 1970? Wow.
Yep.
So right around the same time the TV show was really popular, I guess they came out with the movie.
Well, no, the movie was first.
Oh, the movie was first, then the TV show?
Then the TV show came after.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to talk about that, then there's a lot of shows that I've watched over the years that it would be interesting to see how they would correlate into a movie. Like
yeah.
Go ahead. You're saying.
I was just going to say I can name one of the worst ones.
Go ahead.
Um, in the late 70s, or it might have been 1980, there was a TV show that came on ABC that was called The Delta House, which was based on Animal House.
Oh boy.
No John Belushi. No, there were one or two of the actors from the movie, but it was a sad attempt to try and capitalize on the popularity of Animal House. I believe Robert Woods or James Widows was in it as Hoover, and I think maybe Daniel Day-Lewis. Not Daniel Day-Lewis. Bruce McGill as D-Day.
So I actually just found it on Wikipedia for you.
Okay.
So cast members reprising the roles from Animal House included John Rooney, Dean Wormer,
Right.
Stephen Faust, Flounder,
Right.
Bruce McGill, D-Day,
Right.
and James Widows, who played
Right.
Hoover.
Was Hoover. Yeah. I thought I had at least two of them right.
Yeah. And then Priscilla Lewis, who played Dean Wormer's secretary in the movie, also returned to replace her role, and her character was given the name Miss Leonard.
Okay.
Josh Mostel was casted as Jim Bruto Belushi, brother of Bruto, the character played in the film by John Belushi.
Yeah.
So Josh Mostel.
Yeah. Who's the son of Zero Mostel from Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh.
And was also in the producers, the original producers for Mel Brooks.
Oh wow.
Zero Mostel was starred in that as the Nathan Lane character in the remake,
Okay.
opposite of Matthew Broderick, which was a great film. The producers,
Yes.
the remake of that was both were good, but the remake was pretty interesting. I enjoyed it because it was based off the Broadway version. And a really funny cameo from Will Ferrell as the composer for Springtime for Hitler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this also says Delta House served as an early vehicle for Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not her first effort. Her first effort actually was she had her name taken off the credits, and she does not acknowledge her two earliest works, which were one was Grease 2, which she does not talk about, and as Stephanie Zanoni, and then also in a movie which we talked about, which I recommended to you, called The Hollywood Knights, where she was opposite of Tony Danza, and she played a teen, I think she was a waitress, if I'm not mistaken, in that. But it was there was a couple different storylines going on at the same time, but it was kind of a sideline. But it definitely was a very, very young Michelle Pfeiffer opposite of a young Tony Danza.
Interesting.
And Leopold, the one-armed violinist.
I mean, there's some movies that actresses or actresses just don't want to talk about. And I had read an article a couple weeks back. Sandra Bullock refuses to talk about Speed 2.
Yeah.
She said it was the worst movie she's ever been in. She wished she never agreed to it. It was just absolute trash.
Yep.
And then I watched an older movie that I've seen before the other day. I got bored at home. I was like, I'm going to watch one of my old favorite cult classics.
Okay.
It's a movie called Dead Man on Campus.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
I've seen it years and years ago. I haven't seen it anytime recently.
I rented it on Voodoo for $2.99. I won't lie.
Okay.
But what blew me away is Cooper. Okay, Cooper Fredrickson is played by Mark Paul Gosselaar. Okay,
Right. Yep.
and it just dawned on me. I always looking things. I didn't know he was Zach Morris. And
It's Zach Morris. Yes.
I had to go back and rewatch the movie to realize. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It just blew me away.
That's pretty cool.
Like, cause that's what I like about watching movies. Sometimes is like you realize like someone in a different type of role, so then you gotta go back rewatch it and say, "Oh shit, that really is that person."
Mm-hmm.
Like Once Bitten, I watched that movie twice
Yeah.
because I couldn't get over the fact how young Jim Carrey looked in that movie.
Yep.
So then I looked it up online to find out he was only 23 years old when they shot that movie.
Fresh out of Canada.
It's like holy shit.
Yep.
Because he looks baby faced in it.
Yep.
But then, like, fast forward 20, 10, 15 years, he hasn't changed.
No.
I was just astonished by it.
Yeah.
Like, call me crazy, but that's sometimes why I watch the same movies over and over, because you realize that someone started in this movie, this is where they started their career.
Right.
Or finished their career, vice versa.
Yep.
It's just mind-blowing.
It is. Truly.
Like, I think Dead Man on Campus was one of the first movies MTV Productions produced,
Yeah, probably.
if I'm not mistaken. And the movie bombed. People hated it.
Yeah, it didn't do any box office, but it rented on video a little bit.
Well, because it's one of those stupid, funny, drunk college movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I always picture his name, Lucille Monroe, who plays Cliff O'Malley in that movie, is absolutely nuts. if there's anyone in that movie who makes that movie as funny as it is, it's the character Cliff.
Okay.
Like, Cliff, you've been shot. I know. I got that adrenaline go. Like, he's just completely nuts. I could talk another while for that show, but
Yeah. We'll have to save that for another night, I think.
yeah, that might be on the cult classic list that we're going back to.
There you go.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You never know.
So, I don't know. You got anything else, or are you good?
No, I think you're good for tonight. I think between the great job that Sam and Andrea did on Lord of the Rings,
Yep.
and us jumping in and just kind of finishing the night out, I think is a nice, decent show for everybody.
Good mix.
A little bit of everything.
Good night, Jack.
All right, Jack. Have a good night, man.
I know Andrea and Sam have said they will be back to continue the Lord of the Rings. They're going to plan that off stream, and I told them to just let me know when they want to do it. And I said they're welcome anytime. I mean, they're two good assets. They both know a lot more about Lord of the Rings than I would know and probably you would know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not hard to know more than me because I know nothing.
Well,
I mean, I had one joke and I used it, so that's it. I'm done.
well, that's why I was hanging off stream most of the night when they were talking.
Yeah.
I'd pop in occasionally. I was commenting. I was the voice of God, as they said,
Yes, you were.
which makes it kind of funny in a way too.
Yeah.
You don't have to see me, but you can still hear me.
I'm still here.
Yeah. So is Jack apparently. He's saying, "Wow."
Yeah.
But no, next week we have a full lineup. We have Monday through Friday now. I mean,
Yep.
Monday we can recap the Phillies opening weekend series in Texas, and probably by Monday night they'll be up in New York playing the Yankees.
Correct.
We'll have the NCAA March Madness Tournament Championship game Monday night.
Yep.
More NFL offseason news. Go ahead. Praise your team.
I have to do it, although I got to say, they have their work cut out for them against a UConn team that is pretty hot right now.
So
They're about a 6-point underdog.
jeez. There's a question for you. Are you watching the Final Four tomorrow?
Tomorrow, it will probably be on where I am, but I will probably not be paying a lot of attention to it. I'll probably monitor the score from time to time, but it is Saturday night, and we know where Ron is on Saturday night.
Yep. Not this Saturday I have bowling, but next Saturday I work till 8 o'clock. I might try to meet up with you though.
Yep.
Afterwards.
So we will be doing some serious karaoke on tomorrow night.
So if you're going not tomorrow, but the following Saturday, we're gonna
Yep.
talk. I'm gonna come and hang out with Ron for a night.
All right, sounds good.
But Monday we have Sports Gladiators. Tuesday night next week is gonna be a very bizarre show. I'm just gonna a very bizarre show.
Yeah. Do you think?
We're gonna attempt to do Never Have I Ever live on the show. And we're gonna try to bring people on to play with us.
Okay.
Good riddance to Basement Show with Mr. Nast. It's been nice knowing you. He says put on live. He wants to see you do karaoke live. Maybe one night, Jack. That's a whole nother avenue that you have to get permission from the establishment and all that stuff. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'll let you know about Tuesday as well, Jack. Wednesday we have Video Game Mania. I am working on trying to get a guest for next Wednesday. I'm waiting to hear back from him. Thursday we'll be back for Turnbuckle Thursday with Mr. Nast and Matt, who is crazy.
We're talking about the results of WrestleMania.
Yes, that will be a fun show, I'm sure. Probably another crazy show.
And the fallout from the Monday after WrestleMania. Yeah.
Plus, Matt wants to start a "Was Up" counter live on the show. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I got to figure out how to finagle it. But yeah. I told him I would work on that. And then next Friday night, that's up in the air, but it'll be some sort of movie night discussion. So, yeah, I mean, we're here to stay. I mean, we're full speed ahead.
Yeah, man.
And tomorrow I get to have fun because it's April Fool's Day. It's my favorite day of the year. I already told my boss I'm calling out tomorrow. Wink, wink. But no, my main manager is off, so it's a brand new TL opening by herself.
Yeah.
And I've already promised to make her day a living hell.
Okay.
So I'm going to have fun with that tomorrow. I
go.
have one big plan that if I could pull it off, I might get in a lot of trouble for it. But we'll see.
It's always good to have a goal.
Yeah, but other than that, Ron, thanks for jumping in on the second hour. Sam, Andrea, thanks for your first hour of Fellowship Lord of the Rings talk.
Yep.
It was nice.
You guys did a great job. Great job.
Jack says, don't get fired. No promises, Jack. I'm just kidding. I mean, I haven't put my new 17-year badge on yet. They said, why haven't I changed badges? I was like, because it's not technically till Monday, which I'm off. But so tomorrow will be a fun day. Rather at work or at the bowling alley. Haven't decided yet. But other than that, I hope everyone has a fun-filled weekend, and we will be back Monday night at 8:30 for Sports Gladiators.
Yep.
But till then, have a good night. No words? Okay, just good night.
Good night. Have a good night, guys. I was signals.
What's that?
I was just doing my hand signals.
Okay. So
have a good night, everybody.
Enjoy your 80s night. Ooh, 80s.